Friends, I'm Reverend Karla Lightner, part of our fabulous ministerial team at Unity San Diego. Today is Thursday, July 14th, and I'm a bit late on the prayer, so I apologize for that. I like to do this at 9 or a little before, but I had little kid stuff to do on the way before I got here, so let's talk a little bit about serenity today. The daily word today is from Matthew 14, verse 23. And after he had dismissed the crowds, talking about Jesus, he went up to the mountain by himself to pray. So there's a lot of different things, ways of serenity. Peace and calm within us are serenity. It's actually the perfect balance to a very active life. Serenity is also not just I run around and then I rest. Serenity is also I breathe in that love, that life, that experience of God. I take that peaceful presence within. And when things around me have me freaking out or have me worried, events in the community, kids, husbands, wives, families, whatever, friends, it's taking that time to go within and breathe. And taking that worry that I may get, putting that on the shelf, and allowing myself to rely on God. Well, they say that worry is like a negative affirmation. It's just affirming in the negative. And it's so easy. It's easy to worry, right? It's easy to worry about what's going to happen today. Am I going to get to work on time like today I didn't? And it's easy to have stresses like that. It's also, if we make it easy, to take that breath and to go within and to be able to realize that when we have a prayer-filled pause, when we pause our life for a bit of prayer, a bit of meditation, and maybe a breath, that can help lead us back to our serenity. There was a prayer Reverend Blair used to do, and actually he still probably does it, and you take your hand and you do this heart. It's a little backwards. You start at the bottom. I am God's love. I am God's peace. I am God's, and you can fill in the blank. And just that touching sensation, as well as speaking it or feeling it, can really calm us. Now, it's a little hard to do when you're driving with your hand, but we can come to that place at any time. We can say, I am God's peace. I am God's calm. I am God's serenity. And asking the God of our understanding to help us to be in that place of serenity. That place of knowing that I have control over myself, my reactions, or my response, what I say, what I do. And so when I work on me, it overflows. It overflows into my life. It overflows into the way I respond to my children, to my husband, to my family, to the neighbor, to when the trash people only come and take one can. It flows over into our everyday life. So let's take a moment to just have some serenity when we do this prayer-filled meditation, this bit of a pause, and focus on giving thanks for the blessings of peace within. So I invite you to take a breath, let it go. Take a breath again, release that. Let's breathe again. That centers us and that stabilizes us. And when we put our feet on the floor, that grounds us so that we're in a grounding place. And nothing that anyone says or any Facebook posts or anything that is in the news is bothering us at this moment. If our kids are yelling, if our kids are crying, give them a hug, give them a love, and breathe. Breathe with them. Release. And release. Let's take this moment in this safe and sacred space, friends, to focus on serenity. God, grant me serenity. Serenity in my life, to know when I need to slow down and stop. To know and have that feeling of peace that I can work on me, and that knowing and letting go of working on others. Let me have this moment to be grateful and breathe in the breath of life and be at peace in the presence of the God of my understanding for just a moment in the silence. I am the powerful presence of spirit that is going in, within me, through me, and taking me to this sacred space and sacred place of serenity. I am grounded, I am peaceful, I am calm, and I am secure. And I say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Let's wiggle out with a breath. Open your eyes as you feel moved to do so. Knowing you can always take a breath and go to that space. My youngest daughter is 10 years old now, and when she was 6 months, even before, but I really noticed that we would do our fingers and go, and I would call it our tickle sound, because we would have our lips tickle, and she would do that. And when something happened, there was dogs barking or something, and she started crying at 6 months, and she was in her car seat, and she went, and it was just so great to know that that really centered her, and it really worked. So I invite you, friends, to take time throughout the day to just breathe, to go to that peaceful space within, and have a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. Have a great day. Namaste. Bye-bye.